Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex Chapter 13, which drop fire stuff right here. We get a possible timeline where Naruto doesn't defeat Ishiki. We get a timeline where Boruto and Sadara dies. We get a timeline where Cole kills Kaoki and is devoured by the Ten Tails. So many things happen in this chapter. It is just crazy what transpired, with a certain somebody who can see into the future. But before we start, we got my co-host Rayshawn, who's always been a staple of this show right here. As always, before we start, can you tell viewers out there where can they find your podcast?
No, you guys can find my podcast on all your podcasting platforms such as Spotify, Apple, and Google. My name is Rayshawn. You can also find me on Instagram at rgap2.
Yes, and also hit the subscribe button. We're literally almost at our goal of 500. If you guys kindly hit that button, we're almost there. Greatly appreciate it. But Rayshawn, before we get into the chapter, what's your quick thoughts of these revelations of these multiple timelines?
Damn. I literally, when I read this, I was like, damn. Like, I feel like if you thought we were getting closer to the end, nah, we're not. They just basically just kind of threw some more stuff into here, which is interesting. I like how things are going. I like how to go against a godly power, you need another godly power to go against it type thing. So it's kind of interesting in that way. But at the end of the day, I think it's like damn.
Would you say possible game changer?
Yeah, I'll say it's a game changer. It gives more people relevance than I thought they had.
Yes, and it makes don't forget the first episode of Boruto where you see the time skip version of Boruto and Kaoki when he tells him, "Is this the possible only outcome of this right here?" And then thinking back to the situation, like maybe this right here plays a big factor in that first episode of when we see Boruto and Kaoki in their time skip forms.
Yeah, and then they gave this power to an interesting character
Yes.
who I believe, no matter what, is not going to change the future for one specific person. He's gonna, if anything, he's gonna do it for the most for more people to live. So if a lot of people are gonna die for you to live, then you're gonna die. Like most like. So that's just what I see.
It's crazy. Something popped up in my head about a certain situation, which I'll bring up later, where it's going to be the same exact reason how this person, I'll talk about later, but I got something good for you guys. So let's get into the chapter. We see Jiren going for the kill shot against Boruto, but he's interrupted by Bug and saying that Mitari has, returned and has found something else. And Jiren's like, you know what? Let me get out of here because this thorn soul is, I guess the longer it takes while, the body is destroyed, it couldn't rot really fast. Because Jiren could have easily, headshot at Boruto, ended the series, and that was it. But he noticed, like, okay, Bug interrupted me, and the more I stay out, the more this storm so can, get rotten, and it won't be good to, bring him back. So that plays a factor. And Jiren says, Boruto, you're a lucky man. The heavens are on your side today because I was going to. I'm not gonna lie to you, that headshot would have been crazy from that distance. But Jiren leaves, and then Boruto, he's hurt right now. He got shot through his chest, and he closes his eyes, and we get the backstory of how Boruto and Kashin Koji came together. As of right now, this is the events after Sasuke has been captured, and he's on his own. And right now, you see over 20 shinobis going after Boruto, and it's just him. Mind you, he's on the run because quote unquote, he's the one that killed Naruto. And then we see a Toad, and he's saying that you're surrounded. There's about at least 20 shinobis, and killing these innocent people, let's not do that. And come back to me, and I'm not an enemy of yours. And then he touches a Toad. He shows up right in front of Kashin Koji in Orochimaru's hideout. But before we get more into that conversation, what's your thoughts, with Jiren, easily could have killed Boruto right there. And, with Boruto seeing the Toad and popping up, in Orochimaru's hideout with Kashin Koji.
I'm gonna say for the beginning of the chapter, I thought it was interesting, like when the Bug character came and they was talking and everything, and they made an inference kind of that Boruto was way stronger than they expected him to be. So in my mindset, I also come to the conclusion that if things turned around, things were different, Boruto might have been able to take him down. So I feel like that was something where he was like, okay, the heavens and something like when he was talking about that. But I also feel like that kind of concludes to what happens a little bit later too, how he was able to kind of get through the situation. For the whole like the frog coming to meet him thing, I thought that was pretty cool because I mean it was an interesting route to go, but it also let us know who was basically trying to help him out in that situation. And in that situation, it was the only way he could have got out of that,
Yeah, it
unless
was.
unless he knew like flying Raijing, which I'm pretty sure he didn't know at the time.
No.
So a reverse summoning was like the only way he was gonna get out of that. So I kind of like that situation because it kind of like he planned for that type of situation where Boruto would have to accept that help because he's like, fuck it, what else am I gonna do? Like type thing. So thought that was pretty cool.
And it's kind of crazy. The frog was like, "Yo, let's not kill these 20 people. Let's," because it was implying that Barto was gonna do it. He was going to kill those 20 innocent people.
No, it was implementing the fact that he know like these are innocent 20 people. Like, don't push come to shove. You're not really going to kill. I feel like I was like, you're not really going to kill these people. Like, come on, like we might as well go because they're going to capture you no matter what. And the only way not to be captured is if you kill them. You know what I mean? So it's like let's not put you in that predicament where you have to make that decision right now. You know what I mean?
Yep, and then we get more in a conversation with Boruto and Kashin Koji, which changes the trajectory of the entire series. And he's saying that, hey, nobody's gonna find this place. I have a genjutsu up, so the entrance is a complete, it looks nothing to anybody out on it from the outside.
I don't believe that.
Why not?
I don't believe the fact that nobody don't know he's in there. I believe Orochimaru would know if somebody's using one of his caves. I just in my heart I just believe that. Like,
you think he has a security system in there?
I just feel like it's something. I just feel like he like either was like he went past a snake or some bullshit because I just feel like Orochimaru knows that's his hideout and he knows other motherfuckers. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think so.
Yeah, and then he's telling him about the frog, saying that it's I made it and it's using my chakra. It's not him talking to you; it's me talking to you. And he's saying that I just want to confirm one thing: are you Baruto Uzumaki? And he's saying I just need confirmation and just answer truthfully because of what happened to omnipotence. Definitely impacted your memory as well too. And he's saying that Baruto's like, how are you able to get grasp everything that's going on? He's saying that I already anticipated that this outcome was likely, thinking it's about to come up soon of how is Kashin Koji seeing all this right here. And as of right now, Kashin Koji said, yo, let's be bygones. That whatever happened in the past, let's move on because my sole purpose was to outsmart Ishiki and take him down, and then from there the Naruto handle the rest. And he's telling Baruto, yo dude, you're over you having to be a fugitive and be on the run all the time. So what I saw before I died, I saw multiple timelines, and I'm like, holy shit. And this right here, if you guys haven't seen My Hero Academia, it reminds me of Night Eye, where he always told All Might that he will die in the battlefield against All For One. And this same way, portrait of going through everything reminded me of Night Eye from My Hero Academia. If you guys ever seen that, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And he's saying that watching those scenes unfolding right before my eyes, I see the true potential failure of reality, and it dawned on me that it was a scene from the future. And before we get a little bit more closer, what do you think about Kashin Koji unlocking the ability to see into the future, which can change everything, which it already has?
To me, that's a great power to unlock it the last few seconds before you die, because then it kind of gives you that like, is what am I doing worth it? You know what I mean? So him being able to unlock this ability, I like how the fact that he kind of breaks down what Amato was trying to do with them as androids. He was trying to all give them all these like crazy abilities, but it just didn't unlock for certain people until like this specific moment, him getting pushed to the edge. And he's basically explaining this to Boruto, but I do like the nonchalant that he's kind of having with Boruto, because I mean they do have this little bit of history. But one thing I do think is the fact that Boruto was there when they were showing Amato, Koshin Kingdom trying to fight Ishiki. So I mean, this dude was like either being like programmed to do that and do their situations and stuff like that. Like he was being sort of mind controlled. So I feel like you should kind of give him a little bit of grace there if he's trying to talk to you, tell you like what's going on and everything. So when he was like, I thought this was something that was possible, could have happened. I thought they was about to be like, Amato is a fucking beast. Like, he was sitting back, they're like writing this shit out. Like, this was probably what was about to happen. And like, I thought that was about to be happening. Like, he been sitting back in the back room type shit. But I will say, I think with all this happening and him explaining that thing with Naruto and having Naruto be the person to beat him Ishiki at the end, I do think everybody who thought that Amato was gonna want to go see, I mean, Koshi Kiji gonna go want to go see Amato for like revenge. I don't think that's really on the table anymore because he seemed like he knew what he was programmed to do,
Yeah.
and then like it just kind of like sort of changed at the end, and he made his own decision at that point.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
because
say that.
he says, I was just programmed to fight Ishiki and call it a day, and that was it. And that very moment, I unlocked this power. Because I always think, like, okay, if you were just, programmed to basically die, why didn't you? And it makes sense now that he saw later in the future and just made his own decision now. And going back to what you said, Amato's a beast. Dude, he literally created gods. All right, then we get a panel of 5 Senjus, and we got a new character in the background behind Bug and Mitsuri. And the new character, it hasn't been confirmed even at the end of the chapter. I'm gonna say it right now. It's 2 people, in my opinion. It kind of looks like Naruto because of the Sage Mode, how he has that that little black thing right here across his face. Now you're thinking, how did he find Naruto when he's sealed away? Good question. If that's not the case, all right, we could cut that off. The second, my second guess is probably Garo's son. Shinki. I can't remember his name, but he kind of had the same exact design as well too. But I wouldn't think the Senjus will go to other villages. I think their mindset right now is just a hidden leaf. Could be wrong, but those are the 2 guesses who I think the new Senju member is. Who do you think that could be?
I don't know. I can't make any opinions on it because just even how the Senjus look now, like how even they have like random black markings, it's hard for me to be like that kind of looks like Sage Mode to go towards Naruto. I don't think it can be Naruto because I just don't feel like they would be able to get the necessary. I don't know. They probably possibly could have gotten it before because I mean his chakra has been extracted multiple times throughout the series. So I can't act like they didn't have a possible chance of doing it, but I just don't see that being it. And who else it could be, I don't know, because this is part of the part where he starts to kind of talk about all the different futures that he possibly could have saw in those last minutes before he died and stuff. And like it to me, I was getting into the conclusion that this was a possible future like of this member being here. Like so like at the end of the chapter it gives you like they're still making somebody, but I think this person is going to be different than the person that he could have solved
Okay.
just because I think that future isn't happening anymore type of thing.
Yeah, and then we get brought to a question like, yo, how did you even gain that type of ability? And then Kashin Koji telling him like, yo, Amado. And he has cells from a god, Asuski, the name of Shibai, which, we heard of back, before the time skip happened. And Shinbai, he had the ability to devour so many planets. He was an ancient Asuski. And then Boruto's remembering, realizing who Shibai was, because, Amado told him. And as of now, Kashin Koji is going more into details about, how these cells are transplanted to, who and all that stuff. Kashin Koji is saying that all members of Kara, after being enhanced and modified by Amado, mutation of, Shibai cells, like Code, he got the claw marks. Damon got the ability to affect all attacks, and Ada had the ability to manipulate everybody's mind across the world, know a power of God. And he also confirmed that Baro, Delta, and himself did not get any of these, Shinju's abilities. But for whatever reason, on the brink of death, he was able to manifest a new ability called the 10 Directions, which can let him see the ability to see possible futures. What's your thoughts on that real quick before we get more into details?
Man, I think that whole situation is just I mean, it's just crazy the fact that he's able to unlock this ability at the last minute of it. Like it makes you wonder if all the other them could have did that. Like if Boro could have unlocked another ability or Delta. Well, I mean Delta's still alive, so low key she might can still unlock another
Yeah.
ability.
Awakening would
With
happen.
that would be interesting to see what kind of ability she awakens. I'm glad that it happened for model type shit because it like really helps with the plot and everything that's going on. But we got to give a credit to a model for being able to do this because to me this is interesting. I feel like he didn't really specify that when he was talking to Boruto. Like, yeah, I put these inside of them, and that's why they got these certain abilities and stuff like that. I feel like he didn't say that. And because like, 'cause when he started to break this down, I'm like, oh, so these are where these abilities are coming from. So I'm glad that they kind of figuring out where that stuff coming from. But pretty much right then and there, I was like, it's pretty fucking lit. Yeah, give him all his fucking props right there, man.
And plus, it adds to the lore of Amado. Like, how does he know all this? Like, was he a scientist? During the Osuski's civilization, is he from their planet? Because there is no way a mere human can know all these things. How to make a car mark, how to transplant a Osuski cells to these other cyborgs. Like, I believe he's from that civilization, and he was a scientist under Osuski. Because there's no way. I don't. There's no way anybody can confirm. Like, oh yeah, Amado went to this Harvard medical school for all this. No, 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 no. I believe he's a Susuke and he's probably a scientist for them.
That I mean, he met one or have some way of communicate. And one thing for me, it's hard to believe he gave all these abilities to everybody else,
But him.
and he doesn't have nothing. You know what I mean? I don't believe that. He has to have something. Even if it's just what he say a motherfucker name and they pass out and fall asleep like they be doing. Maybe that's the ability. Maybe he been tricking us and we've been thinking it's like a shutdown thing, but he can do that to anybody.
Yeah, honestly, I just can't wait for that backstory of Amado because I want to see, how do you know all this?
Man, that's gonna be crazy. But to me, it's like, is this all gonna be a father trying to bring his daughter back? You know what I mean? Is he doing all this defying science, the laws of God, and all of this just to get his father back, just to get his daughter back? It's gonna be an interesting storyline to me.
Yes, and then we see Baruto talking about all possible futures. Elaborate more. And he's saying that it may seem like a no-brainer. Our future isn't a singular linear path. There's many instances where I see, Hokage is killed by Ishiki. Ishiki is reborn by Tsukawaki's body, and the planet is destroyed by the divine tree. And another example as well too. The day the Hokage vanished, you and Kawaku are at odds, and he killed you. Sado was trying to intervene. So it kind of me thinking back, with Momoshiki, we said that you will lose everything. So I believe Momoshiki and Kashin Koji, I believe they both have this, 10 directions, and they both seen the future where Baruto dies, and he was waiting for this moment for Baruto to get killed because he knew it was coming. But I feel like Sadara played a big, role in this, where unlocking her Sharingan, and would change, the future of, this current timeline, with her unlocking it and her having, to convince Sasuke to, take Baruto out of the village, and, the rest is history. So I feel like Sadara played a big factor in this timeline, because without her, I think this does come true. What Momoshiki says since the beginning, you will lose everything.
Well, I mean, that's true. And I like the fact that he does say possible futures. You know what I mean? Because it gives you the inclination that anything in these futures can change. So the smallest thing can make a big difference in all these different things. So him basically meeting Boruto right now, that just changed probably 3 or 4 futures right there. Because him giving him this information changes the Boruto who doesn't have this information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's all this. It's just always this whole scenario to me is just like it makes a lot of things after Koshi Kenji went down come into question. Was this supposed to happen? Did something interfere in the background to make this work out this way? Because one thing I think is interesting, because we didn't get a death of Naruto, we didn't get a death of like a Hinata or any of them. Even Sasuke didn't die. Or like, are all these things that he changed in the background or doing something? Like, did he do like, oh, he went left instead of right, so that changed? Like, you know what I mean? Or the fact even that Himawari has the nine tails in her, where even when the nine tails is like, this is fucking weird, like this don't normally happen, I don't just bounce right into the next person. So something I think had to intervene with that. So I think this is a very interesting thing, and I feel like it low key made a character we thought was a side character almost like the narrator now. Like he's
Basically,
telling us what's going on type shit. Like
the whole thing is, even with Kashin Koji seeing to the future, he definitely falls back and says, doesn't mean that things will end up as they're destined to be. So he the future he sees now can be changed later on, because he did not see Sadara, changing the future with her Mega Sharingan. So there's multiple things that can change the future, and he probably can only see what's going on now, but you don't know at the moment what can change transpire. Like I said before, kind of reminds me of the quirk of Night Eye, where he always confirmed that All Might, you will die if you go on the battlefield against All For One. Well, I'm not gonna spoil for anybody, but like I said, for the future can change.
Yes, and what makes me think, I wonder, like, as soon as something change, do that changes the futures he see? Say, like, does it rapidly, like, do he know when the changes happens? Because that to me would be interesting. Because like, okay, Sadara does that, so now does that change all the other futures he see? Because now Sadara has this ability. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It also confirms, seeing the future can help out Boruto in many ways as well too. He says that I can
Oh,
teach you the techniques and skills that you already mastered in the future. I can teach you at this very exact moment. I'm like, holy shit. So him, learning to use Yuku, the Thunder Rising, all that stuff, could happen 3 years from now. But he learned it a few years early. That right there is truly, truly key in the growth of Boruto, and that right there came in clutch because our guy has one of the best techniques in the entire Naruto verse. I'll say that. The Yuzu Rasengan is truly dangerous work right there. And I love that right there. And another thing as well too, he's saying that there's no issue in his timeline since I'm only transmitting what I've seen. It's just a common procedure with the 10 directions. He also tells Boruto there's a method on saving Sasuke, but I'll explain to you later. I'm like, fuck, man, I want him to know. But, they want to give us all information and hold it down before, giving the juicy part of, how to save Sasuke. But what are your thoughts on, him seeing the future, which is really helpful to showing Boruto all the abilities that he will learn.
okay.
Talk to
To
me.
me, that's interesting. What makes me a little, who teaches him those moves? Like, why not go get that person to help him teach? Or does he take? Are you saying Boruto goes to a cave, sits down, trains for 3 years, and learn these specific moves, and you just help them learn them faster? Which to me is interesting, and it's like, where would he even get the grabs of flying Raijin and stuff like that? It's crazy to me. This is where I start to feel like Koshi Kinjin is he's intervening with the timeline. Because to me, it's like he took that timeline of that Boruto and said, you know what, he can't learn that then. I'm gonna take that shit and make him learn it now. So when that timeline that he would learn that is gone, he literally that timeline's gone, or he literally took it and made it the timeline there and now type shit. So it's like this is such a crazy ability, like within the whole. And then to me, it also comes to the point is how strong is Koshi Kinji? No, you know what I mean? If he can look into the future and teach you moves that you gonna learn
What
5-6 years from
what
now,
about
when he
himself?
have to know them too. You know what I mean? Or at least know how to do them, or show you the mechanics of how to do the move. So I mean, yeah, he gotta low key be a monster. Low
Yeah.
key, I do think that's interesting because now we get the fact like how he learned those moves, and then it makes us like, could Koshi Kingston even teach him a move that like a Rasengan as strong as the earth? Because he wasn't that strong last time we see him, but now we learned that no, he learned this from maybe himself, which I still think is bullshit, but. He learned that move from the 3 years. Was it 3 years? Because for some reason I was thinking 10.
3.
But if it's three, then he learned it from a 3 year in the timeline from Boruto, which is still crazy within itself. But then to me, it makes it feel. To me, it's like how we see Ada. It's like taking her ability to see what's ever going on and pitting it into the future. So it's because how he was saying is like, yeah, I can watch and see what's going on, and then show you what's going on, like, and it's not going to interfere like with that future. And I'm like, so is that what you're doing? But to me, that don't even make sense. As soon as you show him no moves, wouldn't that destroy that future? Like, because I don't think how the chapter ended is even makes sense. But let's go.
Yeah, and plus, while Barto's getting hyped about learning these new jutsus, Kashin Koji gives him a humble pie. He was like, yo, hold on. There's a possibility of a worse timeline than what is going on right now. And he's saying that first, the Ten Tails, breaks free of Code's control, achieves a new evolution, and we see humanoid Sinjus, which, they have their own ability, own thoughts, own will, and everything as well, too. Kashin Koji says we should be able to handle the source of the Ten Tails before the situation gets even worse. And there's a low probability of this working. Nearly every future I see shows the presence of the divine trees regardless, saying that, no matter what I see, the divine tree is going to happen. And that right there is truly telling. And he's saying that the most dangerous leader of them all is Jiren. And he will be the one to kill Boruto. I'm like, oh shit. And he almost did in the beginning. If it wasn't for Bug popping out, he was going to headshot him from wherever he was at. And that was it. Kashin Koji is telling him that for this divine tree not to happen, you got to kill Kaoki. And this right here, I'm like, dude, he took away your family, he took away your friend, he took away your village, he ripped your eye out basically, and you still, granted, I know he has, Naruto's bloodline in him, his grandfather in him, which, I will always be there for my friends no matter what. And I'm like, still, he fucked you over big time, man. But like I said before, he has Naruto bloodline, and he says that I will knock some sense into my brother and bring back the Uzumaki family, and that's my goal. And I'm like, we're going down the path of, we're getting that final rematch, how it was at the end with Naruto versus Sasuke, where he knocked some sense in him. So I feel like we're heading down the same path as well too. But I understand, like, he's come from that bloodline, like he is, he has his father's bloodline, and he will do everything possible to save the person that he truly cared about. And Kawaki and Boruto, they were brothers at one point. Kawaki's obsession with Naruto just drove him insane, but I understand it, but I kind of wish he was like, nah, fuck it. I'm going to kill Kawaki, but I know why he's not doing it.
Which to me comes into question of this ability. Like, if Koji can know that killing Kawaki can stop all this shit from happening, why not just do that? Like that's what I'm not getting. Like this is the stuff that's making me question some of this stuff. So that's what I'm like. That has to be bull crap. Like I think like when he was telling us like all the futures in which him die, it has to be something significant that changes. And I'm hoping it's not gonna be y'all gonna have to team up to fight during at the end so that you don't die like that. Because that's the sort of feel I'm low key getting. But to me, I never got the feel that it was to the point where Kawaki wouldn't team up with him. Like if situations call for it, low key. But I don't know. Like, this is things are a little bit interesting. But also in the fact that I've also think Boruto is way stronger than Kawaki.
Yeah.
Where he doesn't even see Kawaki as like, you can't really take me down unless some bullshit happened, and then you can get me. Like, other than that, you're not coming to my front door. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. But the whole, like, him seeing all these futures and that no matter what, the Ten Tails is going to get individual body parts and individual minds and all that, no matter what happens, no matter what we do. So that low key shows you that he kind of was like, if I can do this without Boruto, I will. Low key, but he was like, shit, no matter what happens, okay. So now he's telling him, giving him that information. He's basically like, no matter what after that, you gonna die. So I mean, I tried 8 futures, we didn't change some shit. You still die. No. But to me, this also coming to one question I also wonder: how far can he see into that future? Because that is kind of crazy, low key. Because if he can look at from the moment they at to all the events it would have to take to see like to his death, like
yeah, we need more explanation of how far
like
you can see.
This is some crazy shit right there. It's low key pitting a model on some low key god status. Well, I guess all of them on some god status because they all have these abilities from Chibi. Is it Chibi? I think.
Shiba. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This backstory, Kashin Koji, it was worth the wait. It was really good, and it gave us a lot of, it opened a lot of revelation of, everything, of the multiple timelines and new abilities. There's more Shiki had his name of new abilities as well too. So Kashin Koji and Boruto on backstory, really enjoyed it.
You know what? It makes sense a little bit because for some of the information that he does know, because they kept saying it, they was like, "How the fuck does he know that? Like, how did he know that,
Yeah.
that you can think that?" And like, so it does make sense that Kashin Koji does have this like information because he has to, I guess, looking through these futures and saying like, okay, this didn't happen, so they did that. Oh, so that's what they need that for. Blah 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 blah. So he's kind of taking that information and using it like that. So that's probably the thing. Koshi Kenji is gonna be the person that they're gonna have to go after because like there's nothing they can do if they get Ida on their side. It's nothing they can do present or in the future that the main characters wouldn't be able to know if they can if they can get everybody working together.
That's a main key. Can they get everybody working together?
Man.
All right, then we exit, the backstory of Boruto and Kashin Koji, which was really excellent in my opinion. And we see Himura wake up, and she has the same ability where like Naruto had, where he was able to, share his chakra and able to heal people. And mind you, Sadara got shot right through her arm, and he's able to heal her as well too. And then she sees Boruto, and she gets really excited. And fucking Kabuki's like, yo, chill the fuck out, like relax, it's not all that. You can heal him and all, but Just keep your distance. And I'm like, you slick son of a bitch. And then this part kind of pissed me off, which I understand why they're doing it. You see Konohamaru putting handcuffs on Boruto, locking our boy up, and with that handcuffs, doesn't give him the ability to use any jutsu, which was created by who? Amado. Right, it's just showcasing that Amado has playing, a big factor, on the future, technology of the Hidden Leaf right now. And then we see Kabuki go into Boruto's shirt and grab the toad and completely destroy it. And he noticed that it's Kashin Koji. And then you see Kashin Koji saying that, well, I didn't see this part in the fucking future because this is a real troublesome situation. And as of right now, with Boruto getting locked
makes
up.
Sense to me.
It's like,
how you don't see that? You didn't know that was about to happen.
Shit, man. Shit. I didn't see that one.
Because you see 8 possible futures. And not one of them was, oh, maybe he doesn't get out of that situation alive. Like, what?
I'm going to say this right now. With Boruto being a fugitive, killing quote-unquote Naruto, if he breaks out of jail and Hidden Leaf, it just makes his status quo even more worse than it already is. It's like, all right, if you're not really a killer, then why did you escape and leave the Hidden Leaf? And this right here might just, hinder his the potential of Boruto when it comes back to the village.
I mean, a little bit, but also I don't think nothing's gonna happen to Boruto in this situation, because I feel like if it was, this would have been more, hopefully, an alert for Model, because he doesn't seem like he seems like he's going to the situation, but he doesn't seem like he's like running like, oh, they gonna kill Boruto, because at the main thing, Boruto to me is the main person in power because he has all the information, no matter what they need to get information from him. So it's like, they can try to go about it hell bent and everything, but the real main thing is they can't allow him to fully heal, because he's way stronger than almost everybody in that village. So like, if he gets his full power back, it's gonna be crazy. If a model come to rescue him, that's gonna be interesting, because low key, what makes me mad is why did it take him so long to even reverse summon him? As soon as he went down, he should have reversed summoned him. Like, it don't make no sense. Like, it's just that's why I was saying that, like, this ending makes no sense unless this is going in line with what he sees. Like, what's about to happen needs to happen.
Yeah.
Or some shit but then he's surprised that he gets the frog. That's why I'm like, it has to be a translation. Like, somewhere has to be a translation mistake, because that just does not, core line works for me. Like, it don't make sense. Like, why are you so like thrown off that he knew the frog was there? To me, that should have been like, oh, that's when you should have started talking. Like, keep this motherfucker on here, because these motherfuckers coming back. Like, that's what I like.
Because if you're watching everything and the toad, has your symbol to reverse the summon, wouldn't you tell the toad to hop on his hand and reverse the summon the minute he goes down?
He was already in his back,
yeah,
so he could have did it already.
He just hopped over to his hand and then boom.
So like, in my mindset, I was like, until you said, I don't remember like that part where they said Model made it so he couldn't do jutsu. I was like, maybe he giving him that so he can still revert, like be able to do the fly Raijin or something. But I'm thinking like, either Model is just playing coy and not a coy. I mean, Koshi Kenji playing coy, and he just need these certain events to happen so that the timeline will work out, because we still got to remember he does have that ability.
Yeah.
So maybe this is what has to happen, but if not, and this is about to be some bullshit in the next chapter, they're gonna really have to sit and explain what's going on. This don't make sense to me. Like, why are we still going with the futures where he's getting almost taken out? Like, unless something did change. Because at first I think he did kill Boruto there. And then out of nowhere, like, Boruto started moving, then he's like, oh shit, damn, the heavens didn't shine on you today. What the fuck? What's going on? So I don't know, like, if a model does, like, something changed within that moment that helped him survive there, that could be something interesting. But other than that, sound like an ass pull. Sound like they needed something to be like, he couldn't get affected by omnipotence. What? And now it's like, why is it not helping them at the end? Like, that just makes no sense to me.
But hey, with this going on, it gives Kashin Koji the ability to, hey, let me intervene, do some things, make it happen, instead of him just sitting back watching the future. Let him play a factor and have him break out on Boruto from whatever jail cell he's in.
Yeah, that to me, that's also interesting. And then I also want to figure out like how this future power works. Like, can he like pit it on one person specifically and look at their future, and then can he go away from that and then look at the overall future of the world type of shit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because he looks back, looks and be able to get Boruto and help him with his shit. Then he's able to look at the whole world type of future and see how that's gonna like affect the whole world type of thing. So maybe this is the reason why certain events can happen and change it, because he's not looking at everyone's future specifically, because that probably be like hard to fucking do. You know what I mean? That's why like certain things can happen and change everything. Because he's like, oh shit, I didn't expect Kawaki to do that. Like, I don't see how, but but
Yeah.
okay, but maybe I'm just trying to give him an out, man.
Yep, and then we get to the final few pages of the chapter where Jura puts the thorn soul on the platform, and then you see tree roots going in and reviving Hidari, confirming that if you destroy the thorn soul, you destroy the Senju, and as long as that thorn soul is thriving and is not rotten, they can bring you back to life, which is really really telling right there as well too. And then Jura's like, "Yo, do you remember who you are? Do you remember everything that's going on? You good?" And Hidari's like, yeah, I remember everything. So everything, confirms what's going on. And then the final panel, we see another thorn sword go into the platform, and we see it, generate a new Senju. And that's how the chapter ends. It doesn't show us who it is. Like, Kashin Koji's future did show, when someone that looks like kind of like Naruto or Gaara's son, Shinki. Can't remember the name exactly. But you're saying that this future could have been alternate and it could be somebody else. And that right there is truly telling as well, too. But another thing I want to bring up is that, remember when Ishiki said that to Kashin Koji, saying that your fate will just be the same as Jiraiya? And mind you, I can't remember how many pains there were, either 4 or 5, and he fought all the pains to help Naruto and the Hidden Leaf as well too. I feel like Kashin Koji is gonna go to the same situation and fight all 5 of these Senjus and have the same death just like Jiraiya did.
I mean, if he can see the future, he shouldn't be doing that. Like that. That don't make sense. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe that has to happen. Like, that's the type of thing that's what they gonna have to hit you with. Because like now, it makes you think almost everything Koshi Kenji is doing now has to be for a specific reason. Like everything he do right now has to be lining up for something else to happen.
Yep.
Who it can be at the end, I don't know. I'm gonna say this though, I do think it has to be whatever bug or whoever that the other girl was doing while they were attacking the leaf. All of them wasn't there, so that does give the opportunity that maybe other villagers were attacked. Maybe they were going after a specific person or something other than that. But whoever does come out of there, we got to know that that person is most likely either not dead, but trapped in a tree, whatever they seal type of shit. So whoever that possibly is. So if it is somebody from a different village, I would love for it kind of to be, because then now we can say this is a threat that is affecting everybody. So now hopefully within the coming, we're probably about to get a 5 Kage summit. We're about to have to see some shit going on. Because in my mind, if I'm Boruto, I'm just closed mouths, because closed mouths don't get fed. Because I'm not about to say nothing, because it's me saying anything doesn't benefit nothing. Because what the scariest thing that can happen just happened, and y'all seen it.
Yep.
Y'all can't call me the biggest threat.
Yep.
Right now. You kill me, what y'all gonna do with the motherfuckers that just came and whooped your ass?
Not 1, not 2. There's 5 of them now.
Do you even know what they are? You don't know nothing. I was looking like, just keep talking your shit. Yell at me all you want. Call Hamaru. Ooh, man. The way I be looking at him, man, I used to be like, you lucky you got these motherfucking cups on me. Like, I will tear your ass up, man. You don't even get the same respect that I would give like a Kakashi. Like Kakashi, maybe I'll be like, you know what? I understand you gotta do your job. Haru, I feel like you just did this shit, like, bro, like you didn't have to do all this, man.
Yep.
Come on, out of everybody, I feel like, why don't you got? It don't seem like you got no kindness in your heart. Why you don't got no kindness, bro? Now Shikamaru gonna have to play this tightrope.
Oh, definitely. Commissioner Gordon.
Like, can I let him out? Like, but I can't do it because then everybody gonna be like, why you letting him out? He killed Naruto. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like all this double stuff, but Sugar Mom knows some shit. He like, bruh, this motherfucker the only person that can fight me. Like, like I can't just. Man, this is interesting.
Yeah, definitely interesting. But before we end it, Rayshawn, how would you rate this chapter?
That's a funny thing. I'm gonna be honest. After the last few chapters, I read them. I just was done. We ready, maybe talk about them with you or not. When I got done reading this chapter, I literally got done and had to go around my house and think about what I fucking read and how that shit
Yeah.
was like working within the plot. Like how there's 8 futures can be working. Like how is he sitting back like playing
Yeah.
like I'm gonna have to say I give this probably like an 8.5 to a 9 because it's very thought provocative. It's a very entertaining
Yes.
chapter. It keeps you on your toes the whole time because you're just sitting back like wow. Because even the energy coaching Kenji comes in with, he's kind of like this like oh, well, you don't need to be mad at me. You know what I mean? Type of energy, like low key, like I would just fight you, try to kill Al. Like, forget all that, bro.
Yeah, we got bigger shit to worry about.
This is a whole new timeline. Maybe that Koji you bad at ain't even here no more.
Yeah, but I gotta agree with you. I would definitely give the chapter 8.5 out of 10. Definitely good stuff, and definitely,
Yeah,
even though it was dialogue heavy, it was good dialogue, and introducing more
very
new
interesting
abilities,
though.
introducing a new Sinju, and introducing the new future. As of right now, where Baruto's going, we don't even know.
Yeah, and oh, we didn't even think about this. You know, what'd be funny? Be that next Senju that come out. If it's Ada or Damon, what if that's who he went to go take care of?
If that's the case, it's over.
This about
I
to be
don't
great,
see how you come back for this.
man. But okay,
All right, so before we end it, guys, very trying to get the viewers out there. Where can they find your podcast at?
like I said in the beginning of the episode, you can find me on all your podcasting platforms such as Apple, Spotify. You can also find me at Instagram at rgap2. I think that's also my Twitter, so you can hit me up on Twitter. And we just recently put out an episode with the voice actor for Android 17. So if you want to
Fire.
look at that, it's an amazing interview. We also got another interview coming out with an amazing voice actress. I think is, if I'm remembering correctly, Dusty Feeney.
Nice,
But don't
nice.
quote me.
Well, be on the lookout for that. And before we end it, guys, please hit the subscribe button. We're almost at a goal of 500 subs. We're literally almost at the end of our goal of 500. And until then, guys, this is Coach Universe.